Hello, and welcome to this tutorial about the Dimensions API Google Sheets add-on. My name is Michele Pazin. I work for Digital Science, and specifically, I work on the Dimensions API product. Right, so why do we need an add-on for Google Sheets? Essentially, this is going to help analysts and data scientists who are very proficient, who are used to use Google Sheets, in pulling data from Dimensions directly into a Google Sheets. Simple as that. The Dimensions API normally returns JSON. That's the data format we normally work with. But of course, if you use Google Sheets, you don't want JSON, but you want data to be represented in a tabular format so that you can do more operations on it using the usual Google Sheets features. For example, pivot tables, charts, visualizations, and so on. So let's see how you can get this plugin and start working with it. So first thing, I will open up a Google search, and I'll be looking for the Google Suite Marketplace, which is kind of the online shop where you can find all sorts of add-ons and plugins for Google products. So once I'm here, I'll just search for Dimensions. The Dimensions API add-on will come up at the top. So I'm going to quickly click on it and install it. You will have to, of course, have a Google account to use the plugin, and you will have to authorize it because the plugin needs to access your spreadsheets and connect to an external service. That's essentially because the plugin needs to query the API, which is an external service, and it needs to access your spreadsheets because you will save the API data within your spreadsheets. That's all it does. So I click on allow, and that's it. The add-on has been installed. Right, so let's see how the add-on works. Here I have an empty spreadsheet. I'm going to reload it just to make sure the add-on is fully loaded within it. Now I'm going to go to the add-ons menu at the top, and then you will see there is a Dimensions API submenu, and click on Run Queries. The sidebar panel will open up. The very first time, of course, you will have to log in. This is necessary. You have to do this only once, of course, because the login details will be stored in your browser. So every time you open up the Dimensions API panel, it will be available right away for querying. And that's it. So this is where all the action will take place. There is a search box where you can put in your Dimension search language query, and the results will appear directly in the Google Sheets. So I'm going to pick an example here just to show you how it works. So here I'm searching for publications using the keyword malaria and getting back 500 results. I'm going to click on Run. All right, and here we are. We have 500 records, 500 publication records matching that keyword. And of course, now that the data is here, there's so many things that can be done simply by using Google Sheets features. So for example, I can very quickly build a pie chart representing the frequency of the journals related to this query. Or I can look at the journals together with the publication year just to understand how frequently certain years appear. In this case, there's only 2020, so not too informative. But if you have a different kind of query, of course, there could be much more variation with years. Right. So I should also say that we have a history bar that essentially keeps track of your recent queries. And there's a couple of controls here. So open a new sheet essentially allows you to open a query by creating a brand new sheet. So in this case, I'm running the same search for malaria. Actually, I'm going to add something else in there, where times cited major than 50. So I just want to get high cited citations matching the malaria keyword. And I'm going to get back 1000 results, which is the maximum you can get back via a single query with the API. There we go. So as you can see, all the results are nicely formatted using a tabular format. I got 1000 records here, and these were attached to a new sheet that of course has been given a temporary name using the date and time information. Right, last thing to say is this auto pagination control. That can be used to get more than 1000 results, right? So if you're familiar with the dimension search language, you know there's a feature called pagination, which is obtained by using the limit and skip operators. So essentially, I could have another query that says limit 1000, skip 1000, and that effectively gives me all the results from 1000 to 2000. So you can keep saying limit and skip to get more than 1000 results, essentially. So that's a bit tedious if you want to do it manually. So this feature here essentially allows you to auto-paginate a query. So in this case, if I say paginate three times, that means that this query will be repeated 3 times, so that you can get up to up to 3000 results. So this is going to take a little bit longer, of course, because this is 3 queries running in the background instead of 1, but all the different results are then merged together, and you get back a data set of 3000 records. Here we go. So this is also being opened in a brand new sheet, and we have here 3000 records. Right, so that's it for this demo. Please have a look at the documentation we have online for the API. If you go to DSL/sheets, there is detailed documentation about the API connector. For anything else, feel free to get in touch with us at the usual email address and places. Thanks very much for your attention. Hope to see you soon.